Hello everyone and welcome back to more Seduce Me to the Demon War back again, and this time we in Damien's route because we just started it in the last episode. So the beginnings of what happened after we dropped in, after the whole gang drops in the Abyssal Plains. And let's see, I don't think nothing too dramatic happened other than the fact that, like, of course, there's that misunderstanding that, Diana was the one who brought us here when it wasn't the case. So we left for the night with Damien, and then we're just kind of mulling over the fact that, oh my god, we're here in this abyssal plane, so in the demon world now, and it's like, well, the huge change in differences is that Damien is no longer a demon, so it's basically two humans in the abyssal planes, technically. So we go to rest for the night. We just had a little more chat about, time difference and shit, all that basic stuff. So yeah, we go sleep for the night, and it turns out we get the peaceful sleep, and then Damien gets the restless one, where he's like hearing this voice that sounds like a lot like Diana, except she's like mocking him and like, kind of like, I don't know, what was she saying? Oh yeah, the basis was that she was like, oh, you actually think that you're human, huh? That's so funny, you're so pathetic, blah 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 and stuff. And she's really hinting the fact that, oh, there's like, all of this is kind of a lie, and Damien's just so convinced. He's like, nah, what are you talking about, bitch? She's like, I am a human because I've been human for 2 years. And she's like, nah, you don't even know, son. So wake up the next morning, we try to ask Damien about it. We see Damien, he was already up already, and he has bags under his eyes, so clearly he didn't get sleep. We try to ask him about it the first time around, but he was like kind of avoiding it, so we're like, okay, whatever. So when the guys came in to eat breakfast, and then I don't know where the conversation was going. It was like battle plans and tactics and shit, but then Diana walked in. Oh yeah, it was the whole training, what are they gonna do about training, because technically Damien isn't a demon anymore, but he could still technically fight, so it's like that, we're trying to work something out, but then Diana comes in and she's like, well, that's not technically the case, because, and then she was like, Damien can read my mind, and then suddenly he was able to read her mind, he freaks out over it, almost chokes her out, and was like, you're a liar, you said you would turn me human, but you didn't, and blah blah blah, and so it was revealed that Diana was, that time where she took quote unquote Damien's powers away to make him human, she didn't take it to the point where it's like he's actually fully human. It's to the point where his powers just kind of remain dormant in the human world, and then that's how he was able to kind of like feel like he's human for the past 2 years. Except now that he's back in the abyssal planes, and then magic is in the air and all this shit, like his powers are starting to reawaken themselves. And so technically, yeah, he's coming back to being a demon and have all his powers back. So that really made him upset, and that was the whole revelation that we found out about this. And then what ended up happening? We went to go train. We chose Saero this time. We learned some combating with like weapons and shit with Saero, and then afterwards we come back for that night and we find Damien. He's kind of like going to this relapse of having his powers back. He's hearing all these voices and shit because he's reading mind. He can't control his powers, and then so Diana comes in and helps Damien by putting a barrier around his mind, and that was yeah, and that's it. And and then he actually finally revealed the fact that he keeps hearing this voice that's like taunting him or like talking to him and shit like that. So we were still confused. We don't know exactly what it is, but then we were like, you know what, just relax. Okay, we're gonna get through this. So went to sleep that night, and now we hear this voice again, the voice that Damien has been hearing and that we've been hearing. It sounds a lot like Diana, but I'm still not convinced that it's. Maybe it is Diana, like I said. Maybe it's like the dark, evil Diana that we found out about her. The two sides of her. So yeah. So anyways, let's see what she has to say. More mocking and shit. Diana's voice rang out in the air, causing me to look around in surprise at the dark. Yes. Diana, why you do this, girl?
Keep telling yourself that, dear. Whatever helps you sleep.
Okay, so maybe it's not her. I don't know. Maybe, again, like I said, maybe it's evil twin Diana. I spun around the space trying to pin down where her voice was coming from, but saw nothing but the black color of my imageless dreams greet me as I did. Still, Diana's voice rang out to me loud and clear as if she was there watching and speaking to me somewhere nearby. Was this only meant to confuse me more? Right. What do you want? Yes, Hannah was in the middle of like she went to sleep, but then she kept mulling over the fact like, oh, now that Damien is like a demon now, what does that mean for us? Blah blah blah. Will he ever go back to being a human? How is it? Blah blah blah. Like she's just really over analyzing shit, and that's when Diana came in and was like, you're only confusing yourself more.
What do you think, dear? I'm here to haunt you and tell you how your life is a complete mess now that Damien is back to being a demon. Oh, wait. He was never human in the first place.
Okay, whatevs, girl. Like, I don't get this whole point of this conversation. Like, I don't need this from you. I sneered at the dark, unbelieving what I was hearing. He might as well have been. He didn't have magic or mind reading or anything, so he was close enough. Close enough! God, Hannah.
Something tells me that you're actually happy about the turn of events. No?
Right, that was a conflicting idea or thought that Hannah keeps thinking about where she's like, did I make the right choice of making him human or not? What?
Think about it. Damien with his powers. He's not a boring human. He can enthrall you and use magic and protect you forever and ever without worrying about human trivialities.
Okay, yeah, whatever. There's always pros and cons to these things, okay? Whatevs. I took a moment to myself, taking in what the voice proclaimed in Diana's voice. Okay, while it was true that Damien and I accepted his humanity, a part of me was rather excited to see him as a demon again. Ooh, dark thoughts, oh no. Maybe it was the nostalgia of meeting him as a demon, or maybe it was because it was a part of him I loved that made me happy, I couldn't tell. At my silence, a voice in the air chuckled deeply.
See? There's nothing wrong with a little demon power. What was Damien thinking?
Oh, come on, okay? Who would want to read minds and hear voices in their thoughts like 24/7? It's a headache. At that moment, my mind began to cloud with agreement. What was Damien thinking? Why desire to be human? Humans were weaker than demons, and he could do so many things now that he had a barrier around his mind reading. Uh-oh, she's coming to the dark side. Oh no! He didn't have to give up his powers now, and everything would be completely okay. Yeah, well, like, yeah, whatever. If there is no other way to becoming full human, then like I don't mind him being a demon again. It's whatever. The voice disappeared, leaving the thought of Damien engraved in my dreams. He ran through my mind as the night passed to morning the next day. Oh. I woke up to Damien still in my arms while the grogginess of the morning overtook my body and made me feel like going back to sleep. Something about Damien in my arms made me keep my eyes open. Okay. He seemed at peace, finally having some shut-eye and getting proper rest. I felt a wave of happiness run through me, but at the same time I couldn't help but remember the voice in my dreams. Damien was a demon. Yes, indeed. Once again, yes, okay. What about it? I ran my fingers through Damien's hair, becoming lost in thought once again. Was I being selfish or was I just being positive? Damien seemed to only hate his mind reading, and that was taken care of. Yeah. Maybe there's more to it. I don't know. At the same time, a wave of reality washed over my moral compass. Damien had to be the one to decide. It was his body, and he was the one ultimately living in it. Yes, exactly. But like, again, regardless, whatever choice he makes, I still love him. But was it even possible to become human? The question crossed my mind and settled in as I stared at the far wall. Would Damien even have a choice? Well, we gonna have to see, will we? If there was no choice in the matter, then Damien was set to live a happier life with his mind-reading ability under a barrier. I just had to give him energy, which didn't seem to be a big deal, right? Exactly. As Damien nuzzled my shoulder in his sleep, I looked down at him and smiled. Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. You're just making it just a bigger deal than it really is. I rubbed my eyes but stopped as I managed to spot Diana at the doorway, holding 2 plates of food and leaning against the doorframe. The food looked delicious, but the intrusion was out of place. Oh, come on. She's just trying to be friendly. She's just trying to help you, you know? Diana? Diana placed a finger on her lips before walking over and gently placing the food she brought onto the table near the bed, being careful not to make a noise. Damien seemed to cuddle closer despite obviously smelling the food by the wiggle of his nose. I couldn't help but smile and nod to Diana, combing my fingers through Damien's hair as Diana crossed her arms and watched, lowering her voice to barely above a whisper to speak to me.
You seem to be in a good mood.
Yeah, because I don't know. I don't know. I'm chill. I nodded, looking up at the succubus as I gently gave Damien a squeeze. Yeah, Damien got some sleep, which is what he needed. I took the moment to look down at Damien's sleeping face, seeing how innocent and peaceful it was. The dark circles under his eyes seemed to have vanished, causing another relaxed wave to rush over me. Yes.
Have you given him any energy?
I'm cuddling him, does that count? I shook my head, not remembering at all ever giving him energy. Whether he took energy in our sleep was something I would be unaware of, so I could only assume that he had not taken any from me at all. Diana pressed her lips together before looking to Damien. Why?
You'll need to feed him energy soon.
Oh, is that so? Okay, whatever. I know. Yeah, I know. Diana nodded in reply before turning on her heel and walking to the door. Before she crossed the threshold, however, she looked back at me over her shoulder.
I'm curious about something.
What? Are you gonna ask me whether or not I regret turning him into human or whatever the hell, or agreeing to your little deal? Huh? What is it? Yeah. For a moment, hesitation took over Diana's expression before she settled into her curiosity and asked.
What are your thoughts about him being a demon once again?
I don't really care, to be honest. I stared at Diana, seeing the curiosity burn in her eyes. My grip slightly tightened around Damien as I let my thoughts try and construct an answer. At the same time, I wasn't entirely 100% sure myself. He wants to be a human. I'm happy he's a demon. I don't know. I don't know. What? Oh, you're like, more like he wants to be human. That's the truth. I'm also happy he's a demon, but actually no, this is like not really, because I'm like more so I don't really care what he wants to be. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It was the truth of the matter. I didn't know, and I wasn't at liberty to say because it was in the end all up to Damien, not me. I would root for him either way, but I wasn't the right person to make that choice. Yeah, exactly. Okay, good choice. Yeah, I got it. That was what I think. I had once before, and it plagued me for years. Exactly. Diana stared at me for a moment before nodding in acknowledgement and leaving the room, closing the door behind her. That was an interesting interaction, right? Looking down at Damien's sleeping form, he had turned his head in his sleep, so I could only see the top of his orange head. I smiled slightly and kissed the top of his head, causing him to stir a bit in my arms. Hello, sleepyhead, wake up. At the end of it all, I wanted what was best for us, and that was something we had to deal with together. Whether or not this ended with him being a human or not was up in the air, but for now, I had the responsibility of caring for him. God damn it. Yes. Damien gently squeezed my form, allowing me to take in that he was awake now and looked up at me with tired eyes. Hey, did you sleep?
Good morning.
Good morning, pumpkin. I couldn't help but smile at his expression. He was an early bird, but the rare occasions where I caught him more entranced in sleep than me were moments I found so adorable. Good morning, sleepyhead. Yes, good morning. Damien blushed a bit before crawling up a bit and kissing me sweetly. I smiled wider against his lips and wrapped my arms around him, melting into the kiss lovingly. It had been years since I felt an incubus energy drain, so to feel my energy snake over my nerves and into my lips felt odd. I had to get used to it again for now, and I tightened my arms around Damien to keep him from pulling away from the slight surprise it brought me. As we slowly pulled away, I could see a tint of gold course through Damien's eyes as he looked down at me and licked his lips. A red tint brushed over my cheeks. Was my energy that delicious? What did it even taste like? Yeah, I don't even know. Does it have a taste? I'm sure it does, but we just don't know it. Before I could ask, however, Damien sat up and stretched his arms over his head, letting a small yawn trickle from his throat. When he relaxed, he looked towards the table, seeing the food Diana brought us.
Oh, wow. Did you make that?
No. I didn't. I looked over before shaking my head. Diana came and delivered it to us. Now don't get mad. Damien observed the plates for a bit as he listened to me before rolling out of bed and going over to the table and lifting the plates off of them. As he turned back to me, I took the time to sit up in bed, leaning back against the bedpost. Okay. Damien passed the plate to me and sat beside me, placing his own plate on his lap and eating what was prepared for us. I, however, watched for a moment, wondering what was going on in his head. Yeah. So, you still salty about Diana not turning you fully into human? Yeah? And that your life so far for 2 years has been a lie? What did he think about this whole thing? He seemed to be in better shape than he was before, which was good. Was he easily adjusting back to being a demon? A part of me felt a little happy at the idea, while the other part of me tried to be realistic. This was temporary. Maybe, I don't know. As Damien caught me staring, he looked up at me and stopped eating, causing me to flinch from being caught and start eating my own food. Ha, sorry.
What is it?
Nothing. Oh god, he can read minds now too, shit. Wait, no, he has a barrier around his mind, so it's okay. It's whatever. Him? Yeah?
You were staring at me. What's wrong?
Nothing! I'm just, you know, thinking. You're just so handsome. What do you think about this? Yeah, just let's be real. Let's just be real. Let's talk it out like...
About what?
About, you know, going back to being a demon. Like, you're okay with it? Like, you know, it's not like, well, it's not like you had a choice to, you know, to not go through this, but like, whatever. Well, about you being a demon and stuff, yeah. Just, you know, you okay? You doing okay? I couldn't read his mind. I need to figure it out somehow, and it was better to ask him personally than to make assumptions. Maybe he changed his mind about the whole thing, or maybe it became worse. Maybe, yeah. We just have to. We gotta know. We gotta know where he's like, where he stands in all this. Only he knew. Damien looked down at his plate for a moment before closing his eyes.
I don't like it.
Okay, all right. It's okay. It's okay. You don't. Yeah.
I don't. As good as it is to have my powers back, I still don't like using them.
It's all good. I understand. So you'd rather be a human without powers to fight? I didn't intend to be rude with the question, but the idea of enjoying a powerless life seemed rather odd to me. Damien nodded, affirming my comment. Okay, well, whatever floats your boat.
I would rather have no abilities at all than live with the responsibility of them. Having power has brought me too much pain for me to be happy with them.
Okay, alright. Yeah, you have your own thoughts and your own opinions about it, and like, I'm cool with it. Damien looked up at me, a serious flame in his eyes.
But if having powers will get us home, then I will do everything I can to ensure that we return safely.
Okay, alright. I see. I totally get you. I stared wide-eyed at Damien, surprised at his words, but thankful for how much he was willing to work for us to get back home. He was right. What mattered at the moment was getting us home. We would figure the human part out after we returned. Yes, exactly. Damien and I continued to eat and eventually separated for training, him to his brothers and me towards my own training session. We're gonna see Saero. Saero! I went to the Grand Hall knowing Saero would either be there expecting me or would arrive there shortly after me. Nevertheless, I was ready to train again with him. What I didn't expect was seeing Saero and Diana in the room. I quickly ducked back around the corner and listened, not wanting to disturb them if they were talking. Ooh, eavesdropping.
That damn little... How dare she?
How dare she? I hope you're not talking about me.
My lady, please calm down.
I hope you're not talking about me. I didn't do anything with you. I didn't do anything to piss you off, did I? Wait, what? What was going on? Yeah, what? What did I do?
No, Saero, it is not all right. That selfish brat had the nerve to...
Nerve to what? What?
Sayer, please. I'm all right, I swear.
What did I do? I didn't do anything. What?
Stop talking and let me finish.
Did something happen to Saero? Did someone try to make a move on Saero? Oh? Diana's harsh tone echoed through the hall out of the doorway before a soft sigh followed. I peered around the corner and watched as Diana ran her hand along Saero's cheeks gingerly, tracing a mark on it with her fingers. Oh, somebody, somebody's gonna get a hurt real bad. Radiant purple light emanated from her hand as Diana glided it back and forth over Saero's skin. Saero, however, had a small smile painted over his lips as he watched her work.
Damn her to the deepest pits of hell.
Hey, I didn't do that. I for sure did not do that.
You're being too harsh, my lady.
Buskaya is being a selfish brat, Saero. I saved her from dying, and this is how she repays me? Ungrateful little...
Buskaya. All these names. All these very unique names. I didn't understand what was happening, but I could tell there was another woman involved. Someone named Buskaya. What was really odd was that Diana was acting strange. Cause Buskaya is all like trying to hit up on her man. Her low-key bae right here. She was upset over something a girl did to Saero. It was kind of cute, but it was not what I expected from Diana. Oh, come on. She's a girl too. She's a woman too.
You're being adorable right now.
Diana suddenly stopped moving and looked up at Saero in surprise. A large blush splashed across her cheeks. Saero, growing bolder, gently lifted a hand up between them and placed it under her chin, lifting her head slightly. I shouldn't be watching this, but I want to see what happens.
I promise that I'm all right. She barely scratched me.
Oh my god, OTP!
But she...
Oh, look at her worry! Look at her
Loves her
worry.
mistress very much, just like I do. She couldn't help it. I did try to surprise you after all. She was startled and wanted to protect you, just like I would have.
Oh, really? Like, he tried to, like, do a little small prank on Diana, and then she just ended up getting, like, slashed in the cheek. Diana grumbled, pressing her lips into a fine line as she stared down at his chest, yeah.
She still attacked you.
But she was doing her job, so, you know.
Which I'm sure she's very sorry for. Let it go.
Yes. It's fine. At least you now know you have a very proficient, like, second bodyguard or some shit. Saero moved his hand to cup Diana's cheek, rubbing his thumb along her cheekbone. Diana closed her eyes but didn't lean into his hand.
You know, you didn't yell at me for saying your name.
Ah.
My priority was not correcting you.
Ah.
You were concerned about me.
Also, Sunday.
Yes, I was. Why wouldn't I be?
Oh, she's playing it cool. Alright, okay. Diana knows how to play it cool. Saero frowned a bit as Diana opened her eyes and looked up at him, trying to appear unfazed at his teasing. However, the blush that still radiated from her face didn't lie.
Why are you concerned about me, Saero? You've protected me my whole life when it's my job to protect you.
Because she low-key loves you. Why don't you understand? Ah, of course she can't say it.
You didn't correct me again.
Uh-huh. Silence followed as Saero waited for her to reply. I was curious myself, especially since she seemed to not reciprocate Saero's feelings. Diana closed her eyes and took a small breath before finally replying.
I care about you, Saero. You've been by my side ever since we were mere children. Every time you've gotten hurt,
Oh. I watched in awe as Diana brought her hand up and ran her fingers along the scar on his own chest between the lapels of his jacket. Saero stared as Diana traced around it, her face painted in sadness. Oh.
I know you vowed to protect me with your life, but that doesn't mean you must accept every wound on your body as insignificant.
She cares so much. Oh. Diana closed her eyes, forming a fist against Saero's chest and clenching it hard. The scar must have had some significance to make her that upset. I bit my lower lip. I was watching this unfold, unsure what to do. Should I leave them be? Should I interrupt? I did have to train. Let them finish. Stop it. Let them finish. I'm gonna give them their moment. God. I didn't want to be rude. Whatever they had to settle, I needed to be patient. I stuck close to the wall behind me and listened further, peeking to barely see what was going on. They're probably gonna catch me, though.
It still bothers me. I thought I was going to lose you that day.
Oh.
But you stepped in.
I did. That was the day before you signed your life away to me. A stupid decision.
And he was gonna be like, I don't think so. I stared wide-eyed as Saero cupped Diana's cheek and forced her to look up at him, making her gasp and meet his gaze in surprise.
Stop. I won't let you think that my decision was a mistake.
Yes. Diana closed her eyes and gleamed her cheek ever so slightly against Saero's hand, making him visibly inhale a breath of surprise.
I don't think I will ever understand you. Even after all of these years, I still don't understand your devotion.
Are you sure you don't understand, or you're just denying it, huh? You're just denying it, or do you actually do understand? God, Diana. Okay. Diana let out a small sigh before stepping away and looking up at Saero with a serious expression.
I should go. The boys will be waiting for me to train them, and your student will be here soon.
I'm already here. Without letting Saero reply, Diana turned and walked towards the door. I stepped away from my hiding spot, not wanting Diana to know I was eavesdropping. As it came into her view, she froze for a second before continuing on out of the room and down the hall. Yes! Smooth. Saero watched as she left, staring at the back of her head until it vanished beyond the doorframe. I looked over and finally walked towards Saero, not wanting to interrupt his gaze with my presence. It's okay, you could stare longingly at her for a few more seconds.
She really can't see it.
No, I think she's just trying to cover it up. It's all good, Saero. Saero, my buddy, Saero, my man, my dude. Saero finally turned and looked at me with eyes drowned in hopelessness. It was almost heartbreaking to see his face so heavy and downtrodden. He seemed to have completely confided in me with his new expression because I was positive that this was an emotion he hid very well from mostly everyone. Yeah. Saero finally looked to the ground. You want to talk it out? My dude, Saero.
My lady doesn't understand love. She's always been told that love for her is impossible because of who she is, no matter how much she dreams of it. Because of that, she can't recognize it, even when it's standing right in front of her.
Literally. But you know what? Like, she's talking nonsense, okay? Like, what does she mean she doesn't understand love because of who she is? Like, can't run away from love forever. Don't say anything. That's her loss. There has to be a way. There has to be a way. I will make this work for you, Saero. Don't worry. I can be your wingman. There has to be a way. It was a matter of circumstance. She needed to see his love for her. If she was bred to accept that love didn't exist, then we need to prove that what she knew was wrong. Yes. Saero looked up at me in surprise, a small glimmer of hope rekindling at my words.
You really think that she...
Yes, of course. Like, who doesn't? No one's immune to love. I know she can. I mean, look at me. I'm going to be married to the man I love. Surely love exists, even for demons, right? I watched with a smile as I saw happiness slowly seep back into Saero's expression. He couldn't give up on her. He would be able to show her his love somehow. Somehow, some way. I'm gonna make this work. After a brief moment, Saero let out a sigh, closing his eyes. He turned to me, and when he opened his eyes, my relentless trainer had appeared with a serious look on his face. Without having to say anything to me, he stepped back and summoned his spear. That was a fast turnaround. Exact. Damn. Okay, fine. We're doing this. He placed a foot behind him and prepped himself into a stance. Wait, wasn't he going to materialize my weapons? How was I? Oh, I gotta do this myself? Okay, fine. Saero suddenly charged at me, making me screech and dodge out of the way. What was he doing? Hey, is this the thanks I get for, like, helping you with your love life? God, Saero, you dick. Saero!
What are you waiting for? Summon your weapons!
Like hell, you told me how to do it. How am I supposed to just do it right away when I don't even know what the fuck? What? He wasn't being serious, right? He expected me to use magic? That was impossible. Oh wait, no. But like, girl, you know how to use magic. You gotta do it. Just trust in your instincts. As I managed to duck and dodge his attacks, my fingertips began to tingle. Energy rushed through my veins and under my skin, tickling my nerves. It was unnatural, but somehow I felt comfortable with it. Yeah, there you go. Was this truly magic at work, or was I just nervous, not wanting to be skewered? I tried. Ah! I had to try. I jumped away from Saero and quickly closed my eyes, focusing on my hands. I needed my weapon. Within my hands formed two lavender orbs circling around my hands. They glistened before finally shifting and forming into the katars I was used to. Gripping it and feeling it physically in my hand, I smirked and turned back to Saero, bracing for another attack. See, dodge! I bent back, watching the blade swipe over my body through the air. As I quickly straightened up, I noticed how open his body was for an attack. Do it! Like a repeated memory, I attacked him, clashing my weapons with his multiple times. The chime of our weapons smashing against each other rang through the room, the sound almost piercing my mind. It wasn't a noise I was ever going to be used to. Wow. Like the last time we trained for hours on end, stopping once or twice for a break. However, I could feel my body slowly getting used to the feel of swinging a weapon and defending myself. At least I would be prepared in case something were to happen. As the sun began to set and the purple sky began to darken, we stopped once again for a third and most likely final break. Saero stretched and let out a small yawn as I did the same. I think I'm getting used to this. Yeah, right? A chuckle escaped Saero's throat as he rose from one of his stretches. What stopped both of us from laughing was an echoed conversation in the hall, softly reverberating into the room. Ooh, more secrets. Huh?
Are you sure? Another kingdom wants to join the rebellion?
Oh, that's great! Yay! More parties! Yeah! Third party.
It would seem so. Diana isn't happy about it, though.
Why not? Why? Who is it?
Why not? The leader of that kingdom is so handsome!
Oh, yeah? Let me in on this, girl. Who is he and what is his name? Sign me up.
He was indeed. But an alliance through marriage?
Oh, that's the seriously, bruh. Seriously, it's like, I'm gonna join your rebellion on the condition that you marry me. Wow, so basic. What basic idea.
Oh, come on! You can't tell me I'm the only one who can see it! I can see them being a beautiful king and queen!
But she already has a babe.
I don't think she will marry him, despite it being a wise choice.
Yeah, no. She's like, nah.
She would be stupid not to.
But she's independent woman. She don't need no man on her side other than Saero.
Well, the last time she signed her life away to marriage, her entire family was killed off while she was away. I don't think she could ever let marriage control her again.
Exactly. Yeah, good point, Rabbit. Good point.
I guess. Man, the only person she has now is that guard.
Well, what's there to it? I don't see no problem with that. I'm just saying. My curiosity took a hold of me and caused me to hug the wall near the door, listening in further. Saero, however, remained where he was, looking toward the ground. Oh, don't listen to them, Saero. She's not gonna do it, okay? Trust.
I wonder how they met. He's not an incubus, but he's mega powerful.
I wondered that too. Do we ever get Saero's backstory in his now that he's our trainer? Maybe, yeah.
He is indeed very skilled. I'm slightly jealous of her for having such a devoted guard.
I think anyone would. Just let's be honest.
Devoted? He's crazy! I've heard them talk in private before. He keeps saying that he's in love with her. Love!
Oh, Faye, shut the hell up, girl. Stop talking shit about Saero like that. God. Don't listen to them. They're just crazy talk. God.
That is very odd. However, I wouldn't be surprised if her natural aura has affected him after years of servitude. I believe he's been with her since they were children, so that's over 100 years of protecting her and being close.
Okay, so you're saying that because she's a succubus, she may have influenced him in some sort of way. No! No! I refuse to believe that.
Yeah, he's probably just enthralled by her. She enthralls everyone she meets.
I would just don't make me come out there and beat the shit out of you both. Like I'm very close. I'm this close. This close.
A pure-blooded succubus will do that. At least she's the only pure-blooded demon of Lilith in the world.
Are you sure? Because we did meet Matthew's mom and she's a bit of a bitch.
That we know of at least.
Nah, you wrong. Anyways. Further proves the fact that you don't know shit, okay? So you don't talk about Saero and Diana like that. The conversation trailed off as the pair moved away from the room, and I looked back at Saero, seeing him grip his spear and grit his teeth. He didn't seem to like what Rabbit and Faye had to say. Yeah, I don't like it either. You wanna go beat them up together? Saero? Yeah, I'm down for it, if you're down. Come on, let's go. Let's go beat someone up. Come on. Are you okay? Don't say anything. Are you okay? Bruh, don't listen to them. Bruh, it's fine. Saero looked up at me, a dull glaze over his eyes. From the expression on his face, I could tell that he had heard things like that before, but it still seemed to affect him emotionally. I frowned and walked over to him as he shook his head. Nah, don't listen to them. Haters gonna hate.
What they said about her marriage was true. When the Demon Lord's heirs left the demon world, my lady left to go after them. However, while she was gone, the Demon Lord attacked this castle.
Yeah, we all heard that story, and it wasn't pretty. I watched as Saero gripped his spear even tighter than before, shutting his eyes and turning his head away from me, almost in shame.
The Demon Lord's henchmen, the imp demons who brought you here, infiltrated our defenses and were able to reach the heart of the castle, where my lady's parents and unborn baby sister were hiding. Through some form of blood magic, they were able to break through the protective barriers around the room and...
Yeah, you don't need to tell me the rest. I already know. He didn't need to explain. The heavy weight in my gut acknowledged that he was going to say what he was going to say before he could speak it. I looked to the floor, suddenly feeling very sorry for Diana. She lost her entire family while she had been in the human world trying to save them. It was too cruel. Saero let out a shaky sigh before looking back up to me. Yeah.
When my lady returned, she vowed to seek vengeance and destroy the Demon Lord's tyranny. She formed the rebellion, and now, here we are, readying ourselves for the final battle. Everyone only sees the hard-faced, cutthroat queen of the rebellion when they look at her, as if she were unable to love or care.
I know, but they don't know her like that. That's why. You know her, and then, like, I know her too, and it's all lies, okay? We don't believe in that shit. Saero had reached up for his collar where a beautiful purple rose charm hung. His fingers ran over the surface as he smiled to himself. I bet that's from Diana.
However, Isaiah is still the sweet and innocent girl I grew up with. She's still the woman who saved me and protected me from a fate worse than death. I know deep down that the love I feel for her is pure and true. I vowed to protect her with my life, and I will forever stand by that promise.
Ah, so fucking loyal. Oh my god. Goals. Loyalty goals here. So loyal. God
It's
damn
just
it.
difficult to hope that one day things may change, and that the one you love may turn around and say they love you in return.
You just keep hoping. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm gonna make it happen. By the end of this rebellion, I'm gonna make it happen. Don't worry. I'ma do it. Watch, Saero. Now may not be the best time to hope for that. Is there any way to prove your love for her? Saero, I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. Well, I don't know about the middle choice here because he's professed his love like I don't know how many times to this girl, but like I don't know. Maybe it's not through words, but you need to you need to say it through actions. Now may not be the best time for that to hope for that. No, don't give it. Don't. I don't even know. But we are in the middle of a war, but like still. Saero, I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. Gosh, I don't know, girl. I don't know, girl. Uh, I really want this to work out. I really do. Saero, I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. Like, honestly, like, really, like, I can't really exactly say this because, like, again, Diana's a little bit hard-headed, She's hard to get through, and I'm pretty sure he's done so many things to try to, like, get that message across to her, but she's just not having it. And then, like, this is, like, the hard truth right here where it's like, yeah, we kind of are in the middle of, like, a rebellion, a war right now, so, like, maybe now's not the best time. But maybe afterwards, yeah, for sure, but, like, yeah, sorry, I don't know what to say. I really wasn't sure what I could say. There are so many insurmountable things in his way that I wasn't sure if I was even able to help. I waited patiently until he finally took a deep breath and smiled at me.
Let's just continue, shall we?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, alright. I'll help you in some sort of way. Hopefully in the future. I nodded, taking up my weapon again and preparing for our final sparring match. Alright, I treaded towards my room, admiring the decor as my mind wandered to Damien. I began to wonder how his training was going. Was he adjusting to his powers once again? Was he holding back? And I don't like the sound of this music because it feels like something bad's gonna happen, and I don't like it. The idea of him using his powers seemed a bit thrilling. It had been years since he used them after all. What kind of attacks could he do now, especially in the demon world?
Oh, many things can happen in this world. You're limiting the possibilities so much.
Oh no, I'm being tempted to go into the dark side. No! I stopped walking, suddenly feeling the room dim a bit as I looked around for the voice. It wasn't Diana, I knew for a fact, but how was the voice of my dreams back to haunt me when I'm not even sleeping? Was it like how it was able to communicate with me in the human world? I looked around for a mirror but found none in sight.
Again, you limit the powers of magic, dear.
Yeah, I mean, we are the...
Everything.
Yeah.
Nothing. Sometimes I don't know myself.
What? Okay, that was really strange. Anyways, but like I said, I was gonna say that we're in the abyssal planes now, so like there's literally magic everywhere, so like the limit is like, it can go on forever. I could only glare into the dark, tensing up and preparing myself for a fight. The laughter that echoed from the dark only made me ease up a slight inch, okay?
So eager to fight. Too bad you're not as wise as you are brash.
Shut up, okay? Like, I'm ready to fight anyone any day, even you, okay? So, like, bring it. Fight me. Why don't you just leave me alone? Yeah, what is your deal?
Because this is entertaining. This little game of will he, can he is just too interesting to pass up. Only a fool would ignore this kind of intrigue.
Okay, so you're just really bored. Alright. Then why pretend to be Diana? Exactly. A lingering silence filled the room, making it that much more creepy. Something about this wasn't right, and I began to feel chills just from standing in that same spot. No one was around to witness me, and I was feeling like prey about to be struck at. I'm literally in the middle of the hallway right now, and just everything just went dark. How must that look like to like people on the outside? At last, a deep chuckle invaded my ears.
Because, dear, I'm what you fear the most.
Really? I'm scared of homegirl? Oh, well, there are reasons to be afraid of her, but like, bruh, I thought we cool. I don't need to be afraid of her. What?
Think about it. Or should I replay my little rape scene for you again?
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. I see where you're coming from. I see how this can connect. I froze, realizing what she meant. She gave me that horrid nightmare and made me watch it. I knew that something had been wrong with it, outside of it being completely disgusting in the first place, but to think that it was induced by whatever this thing was. I practically snarled at the dark. That was you. Yeah, no, duh, God, jeez.
You sound so confident. It feels so good to be recognized.
I mean, I only see one, one asshole sounding kind of voice in this area right now, so I don't know. I don't know, my options weren't that much, weren't there. I began to prepare an attack, but found myself faltering due to the exhaustion from my training. The harder I tried, the more the room around me began to spin. I had to stop myself not wanting to faint in the hallway. Yeah, that would be awkward. The voice in the air chuckled heartily at my struggle, making me grimace and glare harder at the dark.
Oh, I can't wait until you realize who I actually am. The expression on your face will be just so tantalizing.
Oh, okay, so it's some other being that's like fucking around with us. So the only other person I feel would do this would be the Demon Lord, but I think that's still too obvious. So maybe maybe it's just someone who I totally completely forgot about, and then it'll just hit me in the face like a bus. So I don't know. I'm anticipating it then. Anticipating. Just leave. Tell me. Oh, tell me. Tell me. This game was becoming too insane. This was some voice in my head taunting me and laughing at my struggle to make it stop playing games with me. Okay. The voice only laughed. They're like, nope, what's the point of that?
I don't need to tell you anything, dear.
Yep.
You'll have to figure out that little detail on your own.
I figured. God damn it, that's how it always works. What's stopping me from just ignoring you?
You can't. I'm always there, tickling your brain and reminding you of what you truly believe.
Or maybe it's our darker self. Ooh. Ooh. It's not darker Diana, but like our darker self. We have our plot twist, we have our own dark self. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. With those last haunting words in my mind, the voice finally vanished. And the light of the hallway grew back to its original glow. I took a breath, looking around and taking in the sight of everything as I realized I was alone once more. How much time had passed? I have no idea. I could only grimace and shake my head, holding it. This was a major issue, but would I be able to fix this on my own, or would I need help? I think it's best to, try to get help. Damien had problems of his own to deal with. What if I approached Diana about it? I mean, then, you can. I started my journey back to my room with the thoughts in my head. What the hell was haunting me? Some kind of ghost? A magical entity? Maybe your own self?
Come on! Guess! Just guess!
What's happening?
How am I supposed to know?
Saero? You sound very drunk. Are you drunk? Are you drinking? Have you been drinking? I stopped walking at the sound of Faye and Saero's voice reverberating through the hall and around the corner, breaking my thoughts. They sounded intoxicated. Hey, I was right. Hey, who the hell? I don't understand why y'all didn't invite me to go drinking with you. I am so fucking insulted. I am offended right now. How could that have been? We had just separated from training minutes ago. Saero wasn't that fast, right? No, he had made up his mind the moment this whole entire issue of this talk had surfaced. You know how he heard Faye and Rabbit talking? At that moment, it was when in his mind he's like, I definitely need a drink after this.
Psst. Didn't you just get out of training? Won't Diana be looking for you?
Oh. He's just like, nah, she don't love me. She don't see my love, and he's gonna break down crying because he's an emotional drunk.
She's busy, apparently, so I get to have a couple of drinks.
I'm totally expecting Saero to just be an emotional drunk at some point. It has to happen.
Fine, whatever. Just guess already!
What are they guessing? I want to play too! Oh my god. I looked around the corner to see Saero, Faye, and to my surprise, Damien sitting on the ground by the bedroom door. Damien's face was as pink as a peach, matching Saero and Faye's intoxicated face, but his eyes were glimmering in gold. Bruh! What the hell is wrong with you? Why did okay, you thought I was offended before, but now I'm deeply offended that you guys didn't invite me to drink and get in on this. I don't understand. I thought we were fam, okay? What is this? I feel so betrayed. Had Damien been drinking? He didn't seem to be affected by the chatter between Saero and Faye.
How am I supposed to know which one you have?
What are we playing? Guys!
I could have both!
Are you playing like a guessing game? Was it like, oh, which one is, where's the pebble in my hand now kind of thing? Was that it? What is this? What is...
See, even he agrees that's not fair.
He didn't say anything. I pressed myself against the wall listening in further. Why were they all drunk and what were they even talking about? God.
I will say though, that human girl is just mega super duper powerful, you know?
Thank you. I'm glad that in your drunk stupor you still recognize that.
I'll say, you.
You. What? Me. Saero gave Damien a nudge before taking a swig from a seemingly almost empty bottle before continuing to speak to my incubus. Okay.
You got really lucky to land a girl like her. Powerful, feisty, smart. She's like a human version of my lady.
Stop. I like where this is going. Okay, alright, keep talking.
Oh, don't even start talking about Diana, you crazy puppy.
I'm not a puppy. I'm a...
Angel, get it. Okay, alright. We need to cut you off. I shook my head, stifling a bit of a laugh. This was a little amusing to overhear. Exactly, but why is Damien in on this? Why am I not in on this?
No. She's nothing like her.
He's totally drunk. Oh my god. Okay.
Huh?
Yes. I stared over at Damien, seeing him run a finger along the rim of a bottle, eyes deep in thought.
She isn't a demon. She's a human, pure and perfect. She would never hurt me or do anything cruel to me.
Yeah. My heart slightly melted at his words. He really thought about that about me. Oh, Faye. Pumpkin.
I loved her ever since I met her, and she's been there for me for everything. She made me human. Well, almost human.
Well, she like halfway here. It's still close. It's close enough. And she did it. Oh my god, this is so funny. Damien. God damn it, Damien. Saero nudged Damien again, laughing a bit.
Well, my lady tried to turn you human. You can't say she didn't try.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, that's true. He's right. You're right.
Not without making the one I love choose something horrible and give her our energy.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Details.
Hey now.
Hey now. Hey.
Oh, get off your high horse, puppy boy. Diana's got him inside and you know it. I'm not surprised she tricked him into giving her that energy.
Hey now. Hey, Faye, you don't know what you're saying.
But I still love her, even when she's mean.
Of course you do. God, Saero, you're so fucking in love with this girl.
I think that's called masochism.
Yeah, that's called masochism. Damien's just like, Damien? I finally turned the corner facing the three as they looked up at me. As Damien's eyes locked onto mine, I could feel a very weak enthrallment attempt to wrap around my core, but it almost felt sloppily done, allowing me to break through it without even trying. Hey now, hey, you don't do that when you're like intoxicated, Damien. Nice try though, but no. Saero and Faye scrambled up and pointed at Damien. What?
It was his fault!
Really? You're the one who brought the booze and you didn't tell me about it? Before I could make them stop, the pair of demons practically sprinted down the hall and out of sight around the far corner, leaving me and Damien alone. I pressed my lips together and walked towards Damien, seeing him gaze hard into my eyes in attempts to enthrall me. Damien? Damien, what happened? Where did you get this booze? Who'd you get it from? Is it good? He wasn't answering, and I could tell that he was trying to make the enthrallment happen. Still, I remained unfazed. I sighed and crouched down, helping Damien up and ignoring the ornate empty bottles that fell over at his upward movement. Wow, you drank a lot. Come on, let's get you inside. I'll forgive you on this time for not inviting me to, drink with you. I guided Damien inside at last and closed the door behind us. He seemed to follow along, his arms wrapped around my shoulders as I walked him towards the bed. Before I could lay him down, however, he spun me around and pinned me to the wall, staring deep into my eyes. Bruh, Damien, Bruh, you're a drunk. You need to sleep.
I love you.
I love you too, but you're really drunk right now. I became lost in Damien's glowing gold eyes, feeling his enthrallment attempt once again to consume me. Every warning bell went off in my head, reminding me that he hadn't exactly been fed properly and regularly. Oh, way. And on top of that, he's drunk. This was probably him starving for energy. Probably. Oh god. Some part of me, despite all this, didn't want to let this go. It had been years since I felt his enthrallment on me. My body began to crave the urge to delve into my curiosity. Would it be different? Would I enjoy it more than when we usually held each other? He was starving and I was curious, a deadly combination indeed. Uh-oh. I let myself sink against the wall, staring up at Damien as he bore his hungry gaze into my soul. To see the new animal within him seemed too erotic to pull away from. Oh my gosh, he's getting turned on by this.
I just need a bit. Just enough to stop the hunger.
That's what you say now, but then, 5 rounds later. A kiss then, control yourself, take as much as you want. Wow. I mean, I don't know about the consequences of taking too much, but like... Okay. I still don't really, I don't know. I mean... I don't know. That's the thing. Like, I don't know the consequences of giving too much because it may be a bad thing. Too much of anything is bad. But he hasn't been feeding for 2 years, so like I don't know. Okay, just try to control yourself. Now I don't know. Just try to control yourself. I don't want to pass out. This wasn't Damien, this was a demon and controlling him. The demon Damien didn't want to be. I had to make him calm down first. Okay, yeah, you gotta remember, you gotta just chill, relax. Damien stared hard at me before slowly pulling away and sitting on the bed. Don't want to do anything you'll regret, That's what I think. You can take energy from me while I sleep, but you need to control yourself. You're letting the demon side of you take over.
You're right.
I mean, it's not that I don't want to, but like, still, like, Damien nodded before looking up at my eye. Damien nodded before looking up at me, eyes still glazed over in gold. I nodded and crawled into bed, feeling exhaustion curl around me and demand my sleep. Come here. Yeah, just come here. I'll cuddle you. Don't worry. Damien obeyed, lying beside me as I wrapped his arms around me, guiding him on where he could take my energy from. Guiding him on where he could take energy from me. As I closed my eyes, I could feel a slight sigh brush over my shoulder. Alright. No sexy time, alright? The morning slowly rose with me waking up to see Damien's sleeping face. As I slowly sat up, I felt the ache of the morning wreck through me, demanding that I go back to sleep. However, I knew better. I knew that the day had to continue forward and that I had to wake up. Still, seeing Damien fast asleep made me feel a bit relieved. He certainly needed the sleep after the night before. A very faint knock rapped at the door, causing me to look up and see Diana enter with 2 plates of warm food. As she stepped in, she looked at me and tilted her head. Why?
Up again before him?
Yeah. I nodded and rubbed the back of my neck, grinning a bit. I guess I've gotten used to the demon world time. Yeah. Diana laughed a bit before placing the food she held on the table nearby and crossed her arms.
I see. Well, if you could, please wake Damien up. I have something I must speak to you two about.
Oh, okay. I hope nothing too serious. Yeah? Huh? What is it? Yeah. Diana grimaced and looked away from me, staring at the ground and avoiding my gaze. Why?
It would be best if both of you heard my news. Please, just wake him up.
Okay, girl. Alright. Maybe it has something to do with him turning him human for good, maybe. I don't even know. I nodded and looked down at Damien, seeing him slightly stir against my body before I placed my hands on his shoulders and kissed his cheek. Come on, Damien, wake up. We got important matters to discuss with Diana. Yeah, don't me. Just get up. Shake him, kiss his cheek again. I'm gonna kiss him again. Kisses! Kisses. I giggled a bit and kissed his cheek again, nuzzling his temple with my nose. Come on, Diana's here and wants to talk to us. Damien stirred a bit more, finally opening his eyes and nodding before being awoken. As he looked up at me, I smiled down at him, earning a tired smile back. Morning.
Morning.
How do you feel? I hope I made the right choice and not, letting you go ape shit crazy on taking energy. Alright. Damien slowly sat up, stretching his arms over his head before shaking his head and looking to Diana, taking in that she was in the room. Okay.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning, yes. Damien only nodded before leaning back against the bedpost, relaxing against them as he looked to me. I turned my head to Diana and gestured for her to speak. So, what is it? But we're not gonna find out until the next episode because I'm gonna end it right here. Oh, cliffhanger! Sorry, guys. Anyways, I think this is the perfect place to end this episode, and then we can continue on afterwards to see and find out what it is that Diana must speak to us with us as a couple. So maybe it might be like, about turning Damien into human and she found a way, or I don't know, maybe she's just breaking it on news and be like, I can't find a way. So I don't know. Who knows? But we'll find out in the next episode. So tune in, you guys. But for now, bye.